Welcome back to the channel. I am Sia B, and I am the new notary mentor. So I actually not only work with new notaries, but what I do is I work with notaries who want more training, who want mentorship, and I have a program that's starting October 6th, and it's going to be a 6-week program, $25 a week or $100 for the whole 6 weeks. It's going to be live, it's going to be virtual, it's going to be on Zoom, it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time on those Sundays. So join us if you want to get together. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And now it is time for me to give you a much promised story time. The last time I was here and I really recorded a lengthy video, I said, listen, I'm going to talk to you all about how I ended up in court behind being a notary. And then I went radio silent. I didn't come back. And the reason is I wanted some more time to get between what happened and me posting it online. Not that I'm going to say anything that is salacious or anything that will get me in trouble, hopefully, but I just wanted some more time and distance before I talked about this experience. It wasn't experiment. If it was an experiment, it failed. The experience. So what happened about a year ago now? I got a call from someone said, "Hey, is this Sia? From Nova Pro Mobile Notary?" Yes, it is. Okay, yes. Hi, I am attorney so and so. You did a notarization for a client of mine. Do you recall doing a notarization for Little Miss Muffet? And I said, "Oh, okay, yes, actually, I do remember doing a notarization for Little Miss Muffet." Little Miss Muffet's son called me to do a notarization for some financial paperwork, and I did recall that. So he said, "Well, listen, actually, unfortunately, Little Miss Muffet has passed away, and Little Miss Muffet's family is contesting the will, and along with that, some of the paperwork that you notarized." I said, "Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Well, have a great day." He said, "Oh, no, actually, would you mind if you recall this? Would you mind kind of putting that in writing for us and submitting paperwork or a notarized statement?" And I'm like, "Okay, I don't mind because I really actually really do remember this particular situation." So I did that, got a notarized form out to them, a notarized letter. Good. Whew, okay, job's done. Then a few months later, I get another call from Mr. Attorney that says, "Hey, you know what? We're going to be going to court on this, and I need you to come in to testify." And I say, "What? Oh, okay." So he said, "You're going to testify to the things that we talked about," because he asked me several questions about the notarization, and I gave him what I knew, what I recall, what I remembered. I looked through my notes. He said, "Okay, so we're going to have to come to. I'll get you a subpoena, and you'll be called." Like, okay, great. So I get to court, and number one, they tell me, they said, "Listen, we're hoping to settle this. Okay, we're hoping to settle this. This is the son now. The son is the one who really hired me. Little Miss Muffet is mom. Son is the son. I was notarizing the documents from Little Miss Muffet. Now, side note, Little Miss Muffet, or Mrs. Muffet, I should say, was a mature lady. She was an older lady. And anytime I do notarizations for folks who are a little bit on the mature side, I take special additional care to have conversations with them. Sometimes I'll mention some things that are kind of topical in the news, some weather things, just to make sure that they are lucid and they know kind of what's going on, what's happening. And I did that with little Miss Muffet. I recall those conversations because she and I shared a common kind of educational background, okay, all of that, right? So I remembered that. So Mr. Muffet's Mr. Muffet, which would be Loomis Muffet's son, is the one who hired me and asked me to come by. So, okay. So he is the one who's calling me to court to testify the fact that I thought little Miss Muffet was lucid because that was the standing in the court case. The family members were saying that the son had really tricked mom to notarize the paperwork. And so I was there to say, when I met with mom and son, she seemed lucid. She seemed like she knew what she was doing. She could answer my questions. We had a conversation. That's what I had to testify to. I had no problems doing that. Okay. Until I got to court, they said, hey, you're either going to be called to court either Thursday, Friday, or Monday. I'm like, okay, can y'all narrow this down? Because I have appointments and that sort of thing. And essentially it was like, no. Then finally they called me and it's going to be Friday. You're going to come to court. Okay, I'm going to come to court. I had scheduled some other things around the court and they said court lasts from 8 to 11. So I said, okay, I blocked that time off. I got there around 7:30. Okay, just waiting, just waiting. I'm in the hallway outside the courtroom. Nobody's saying anything to me. Nobody's talking with me. I remember the son, what he looked like. So I saw him coming through, but we didn't talk. We didn't discuss anything. I saw lawyers coming in, lawyers going out. I saw everybody going into the courtroom. And I'm thinking, maybe I should be in the courtroom, but no one says a thing. So I sat there from 7:30 until 11. Then I see people coming out the courtroom. I'm like, okay, did I miss something or whatever? No, I didn't miss anything. They were breaking for lunch. And so I'm trying to ask somebody, the attorney of the son, or can somebody give me, oh, they said that after lunch, you're going to be the first witness call. Okay. So then I'm all hungry and I don't know, I don't want to lose my parking spot. So I kind of stayed put until after lunch. After lunch, I'm sitting there waiting for court to restart. Here comes a gentleman coming to talk with me, just having a casual conversation. He said, oh, okay, you're the notary. I was like, yes, I am. So, oh, okay. He said, well, I am the attorney for the other side. Okay. Because I said, listen, I don't have sides in this. I am just here to testify who I what I know, what I did, what I saw. Cool. So then he was like, oh, I'm sure. How you doing today? I was like, oh, I could be better. Being in court's not really my idea of having a great time, but whatever. So he's like, okay. So haha, chew the fat. But I had my guard up because okay. So then that was that. He goes into the courtroom. I'm sitting out here. I finally get called. Okay, here I go. To the courtroom. All right. Give my oath, do all of that. I sit down on the stand. The first person was the attorney for the son. Said, okay, when you did this notarization, did mom seem to be lucid? Did you have conversations? What were I said, yes, yes, yes. And I testify. Cool. Next, we have the gentleman who was the other side, who came up, the one who tried to have the friendly banter with me outside. He comes up and he had to cross-examine me, right? So I was ready for him because, again, Judge Judy said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. So that was good. So here comes Perry Mason Jr. How long have you been a notary? I said, oh, I've been a notary since 2018. So, okay, whatever. Oh, okay. So, how much did you charge for this notarization? I said, well, I'd have to look at my book to find out for sure, but here are my prices. And let's say I said it was $50, okay? Because it was something like that, because it was one document, $50. And then he was like, this is the code of Virginia telling us how much notaries can charge. What does this say? I said, well, it says that you can charge $5 per notarial act. Plus, so you overcharged for this notarial act. Who gave you the authority to charge $50 for this notarial act? And I'm like, what does this have to do with the price of tea? And then I said, well, here in Virginia, okay, it does not give me the authority to, but it does not exclude me from charging a travel fee, a convenience fee, etc. So that really the Code of Virginia gives me the authority to charge for those things in addition to the notarial act. So then I'm like, I can't believe this. I was just doing my job as a notary and I'm getting cross-examined as if I had done something to the poor person who's no longer with us. So, and then he said, and he was like, oh, and then he kind of went off another line of questioning about, so she seemed lucid to you when she did the notarization. Yes, in my opinion, it is. Do you have a medical degree? I said, no, I don't. Okay, and then so then the first attorney had to come up, I guess the recross examination, the cross or whatever. I'm kind of like rusty on my law and order. So then she comes up, she said, tell me about your educational background. And then I told her about the schools I've been to or whatever. Of course, not medical schools, but I've been to school a lot. And in addition, I, as a notary, I know it is my job and my duty to make sure that the person is lucid and that they understand what they're signing and that they authorize that. So that was that. So, I mean, my whole time on the stand was maybe about 6 minutes total. But it put, of course, as you can imagine, a pretty bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, I didn't do anything. How in the world am I getting cross-examined? And to answer the question that some of you may have, no, I have no idea how the case ended up. And I really didn't. It's not that I don't care about clients, but I didn't care in this case. It wasn't pertinent to myself, what I had done, the job that I had done. In fact, I was like, I need to get out of here. I don't want any other information about this. So I don't know who won. Um, I hope everything ended up for the best for everyone involved. But I would want to say that if you are a notary, a practicing notary already who has been to court, it's quite an experience. If you haven't, it's okay. No one, I wasn't beaten, I wasn't smacked around or anything, but you do have to know your stuff. And part of that is knowing the notarial laws in your state, knowing what authority you have to charge or not to charge. Even though that didn't really have anything to do with the case at hand, I believe he was trying to kind of throw me off. So you have to be confident in what you are doing. Now, part of that confidence is to make sure that you are well versed, that you have a community of folks who you can kind of bounce information and ideas off of, a mastermind, if you will. In fact, if you missed before at the beginning of the video, I talked about the mastermind that's starting October 6, 2024, and it's lasting 6 weeks. We are going to talk about, and I'm going to give some behind the scenes stuff. At some stuff I didn't want to put all of you to, but we will do some mock calls. I'll tell some more situations that were even a little bit more dicey than that particular situation. But we will bounce ideas off of each other and we will practice. One of the things that I did last time I had a mastermind group that we loved was mock calls, mock situations. So join us if that is something that you're interested in, having a community of like-minded notaries that can help you kind of troubleshoot how to kind of maybe stay out of this type of situation if you can, or to be able to kind of know how to handle these little dicey situations if they do occur. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to give you my court story. It's the first time in 6 years that I've had any type of court dealings with my notarization business. Hopefully the last time, but if not, I will be ready because I keep good notes and I have a good memory, and I'm very thorough when it's time to try to evaluate my signers as much as possible. Okay. Right. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining. And until next time.